Right then, in this video is a detailed look at a 1900s or possibly even an 1890s R Waygood lift. It was modernised by Express in the 1950s. It then had a like-for-like relay replacement in the 80s. And despite these mods, it's still very original, and one of the rarest things about its lift is it's got wooden lift tracks. And there's something else about his lift that makes it even crazily rarer than that. This lift has got a winding drum motor. As the lift goes up, the cables wrap around a winding drum. This is a very rare lift. Let's take a ride in it. And let's take a look on top of the lift. The lift cab is still original from when it was installed. This lift is very old. Let's take a ride on top of the lift. And now let's go into the motor room. This lift was modernised in the 1950s by Express. Express replaced the motor with an express motor. Express also replaced the lift logic, which is still present in the motor room but now disused. But the winding drum itself is still original to when the lift was installed and actually says R Waygood on it. That is very rare. This lift was modernised for a second time in the 1980s, and the logic has been replaced with a like-for-like relay logic. So even though a logic's replaced, that's not as good as having a slate logic. The fact is a like-for-like relay logic means the lift still feels very original. So then, one final thing I'd like to say. This lift was built as part of the century fever, the new era, the turn of the century, the start of electricity. These classic Art Nouveau lifts were built for rich people as a new futuristic thing for their residential buildings to celebrate the future. A very similar thing happened at the millennium, going into the 2000s. There's new futuristic designs of loads of different products to show off how futuristic a new era of the millennium was. As for lifts, there was the Schindler Direct Drive, a completely redesigned futuristic lift for the new times, and we're now in the futuristic year 2000. And what a fail that was, with hardly any Schindler Direct Drive surviving, only a couple left in existence. It was a failed design, but the weirdest thing is, at this point in 2023, there is actually more lifts in existence from the century fever of the 1890s and 1900s than there are Schindler Direct Drives from the millennium fever. That is crazy, and that says a lot.
Benvenuti.